Hey guys, what's up? This is GaLm and welcome to Resogun. At least I think it's called Resogun. I'm not actually sure how it's pronounced. Anyways, Resogun is a game I got because it's free on PlayStation Plus for the PlayStation 4. I think it's an indie game, and it's actually pretty fun. It's kind of a twin-stick shooter thing, and you can only shoot left or right, but I think, let's get into it. We'll explain a little bit. I will go on to Experienced, and we will go with the Nemesis, because I really like the Nemesis, because I don't really like to use Overdrive, but we'll explain it through time. Okay, so, as you can see, let's get down and explain it. So, there are only a few controls. The triggers, and oh no, don't do the triggers, and we'll explain in game. Alright, so,
save the last humans.
In this game, we are supposed to, obviously, save the last humans. And the way you do this is little guys, yeah, you see these guys? How they have green ores around them? They're called the Keepers. They can just be like any kind of random enemies, or they can be just like designated enemies that will eventually leave the field. But eventually, if they leave the field, you lose a human. So the whole point is to just kind of balance out, killing a whole bunch of enemies, getting a lot of fucking points, keeping yourself alive, while also saving the humans, so you can just get a lot of points. It's one of those games where you're just like, I want to get on the leaderboards. Except for me, I don't want to get on the leaderboards. But yeah, no, it's a really fun game to just kind of play. It's obviously not something to do like a super long let's play on, but it's a fun thing to just kind of come around, play it a couple of times a day, or maybe once a week or something, and just have a lot of fun. But yeah, I've been spending some time learning it, so that way I could just kind of go, oh yeah, so when this pops up on the screen, that means I can go save a human or something like that. And yeah, I'm just learning it. So at the top of the screen, you can see how the humans kind of have little icons for them. When it's blue, it means that there are keepers on the field which will allow you to break the humans out of their cages.
Human in danger.
Uh-oh. A human's in danger! I'll save you! Oh yeah! Humans can get abducted by random dudes on the field, so you kind of have to watch out for that. But if they're fully green, then obviously you've saved them. If they're blinking green, that means you've broken them out of their cage, but they're walking around. And when they're walking around, you can see a little green arrow pop up on your little HUD, which will let you, it will point you. Oh, I died. That was bad. I'm explaining things, and I'm not good when I'm explaining things. But as you can see, it's pointing a green arrow out, and it's telling me where he is, and that allows me to just kind of go, all right, I'm gonna go rush off and save the human. Boom! Look at that. Now, it's pretty easy to save the human. All you have to do is get him into the point, and you can do one of two things. You can either just kind of throw yourself into the point, and it'll rescue them automatically, or you can throw the humans themselves to the point like that. And I like to do that because it can kind of keep you, it allows you to stay mobile and have a lot of fun. Apparently I saved another human. I think there are some times where a human will just get broken out of a cage without killing keepers, and we lost a human. Shit, really? Yeah, it's because I'm talking. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to explain the game. You guys probably already know a lot about the game, or you don't. I don't know. I'm explaining it so that way we can get that out of the way and just focus on actually getting things done. But what was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. I'm really forgetful. It's terrible, but let's go ahead and save these guys. Oh, there are many different tools which will allow you to save the humans, such as, obviously, your weapons. Your weapons can get upgraded, and this guy, they think it's called the Ferox. No, the Ferox is the default one. God, I need to learn the names. But this ship that I'm using actually has missiles, which will lock on enemies, and that's really awesome for just like dealing with a bunch of dudes. Just like, oh man, look at all these guys coming around. I'm just gonna keep on shooting everywhere and never have to worry about it. And the other stuff, you also have the overdrive, which for this guy is kind of weak on purpose, so that way you have a little bit more focus on dishing out weapons and having a higher boost. And overdrive is kind of this thing where it just does this, and you can annihilate large amounts of enemies. Now, I'm a little bit worried about using it because sometimes in games, like the really awesome abilities will give you less points, so I'm not sure how that works out exactly. Like, do I get less points if I use an overdrive? I'm not sure. I think you also have a bomb, which I think is just like a standard in twin-stick shooters, or most twin-stick shooters I've played. And the bomb just destroys everything around the map. At least anything that's alive, and that's pretty nice. But as a game where you kind of have to fight for score, you obviously have a multiplier thing. And the harder difficulty, the faster you lose the multiplier. And I don't like playing the higher difficulties because of it. It's like, oh man, I'm not shooting enemies for like a few seconds. Oh, gonna lose the multiplier. And I don't like that. I like having a good multiplier. All you have to do to keep your multiplier going is hit an enemy. That's all you have to do. You can kill the enemies too, but you know, if you're desperate and you just want to like milk a dude, that sounds bad. If you just want to exploit an enemy having a lot of hit points before you can kill them, you can kind of do that. You can just kind of hit them because there's not a lot of enemies around you. It's like, oh man, there's not a lot of enemies around him, so you keep them alive, waiting for the next batch of enemies to either spawn or just kind of get around the field, and it's really nice. But I guess that's about all. There are bosses at the end of all the phases. I don't know how phases and things work. All I know is that a bunch of enemies are always coming at you until you have to fight the boss, and then you kill the boss and you win the stage. And here we go! The boss is coming in, the stage has gotten a little bit bigger, and the first boss is relatively easy to kill. He's not all super complicated, but the harder difficulty is, the harder the boss is. Like on the bigger end of I have a real bad time saying the word difficulty. Anyways, on the beginner difficulty, this guy's a super pushover. As you can see, his guns only shoot a little bit, but on the harder ones, we're not on beginner right now. We're on experience, but on the harder ones, he shoots out like fucking crazy. So if you think this is like a boring boss fight or something, well, that's just because of the difficulty. But if you put on the higher ones, this shit gets insane, and I'm scared to do anything because of it. But I think they have like reflective armors, and you have to hit all their weak points in order to kill these guys. And the bosses get harder and harder as it goes on. Like this is the first guy, and he's a pushover. Once you break like that segment, oh what a dick! I've never had that happen to me before. But you just break this off, you destroy his armor. Holy shit, that actually lasts a while. Okay, well you know what? Overdrive! Oh yeah! And they die. And then you get this awesome little segment where the entire stage blows up. It's called an Armageddon. Oh yeah, look at all the little particles just like exploding everywhere. Oh yeah, and if you blow up big enemies, like if they're over a bit of the background, the little bit of the background gets exploded, and so that's kind of neat. You don't really care too much about it, but it's a cool visual feature. Damn. I missed a human savior thing because I was talking, but you know what? That's okay. We did alright. We're gonna continue on. Now that I've talked a bunch, you know, we're gonna move. Oh, I didn't explain the boost. Okay, so boost is this little thing you've seen me use. You've been seeing me use it, and you don't have to do anything special for it. For the overdrive, you have to collect all the little green balls, but for the boost, it just recharges, and it's a really awesome thing because you can go through all the enemies. You can't go through boss armor, but you can go through regular enemies. So it's like, oh man, look at all these guys here, and you just rush through them all. It's really awesome, and the more enemies you go through, the bigger the explosion that happens at the end of your boost, and that's really nice. Now you can't use your boost again until you've finished, until it's finished recharging, so you have to kind of keep an eye out on that. Like it's better to use short bursts of your boost to get through a bunch of enemies, or to rush through a field and to like pick up a human, or to deliver a human, or to destroy a whole group of fucking keepers. It's just a... It's like firing a gun in video games. Burst firing can sometimes just be a better thing. Now let's go ahead and pick this guy up. I lost my multiplier because there's no fucking enemies at all around that area, so that kind of sucked. But I'm alright with that. I'm just here to play the game, have some fun. In the future, maybe we'll do a little bit more and actually try to, you know, really milk out the points. Now I've already looked at leaderboard. There are people with 40 million points, and that's a lot. Like, especially since the PS4 has only been out for a couple of days, it's like, oh, there are fucking, like, pros at this game already. Awesome. And I wish I was a pro at this game, but I'm not. But for now, that's alright. We have to learn. You have to suck at a game before you can become amazing at it. At the very least, oh yeah, fucking, again, no enemies. Oh! On the harder difficulties, it actually becomes a little bit easier. Or it gets a lot faster to get the multipliers. It gets insane. It's like on the hard on I think it's veteran. It's like, oh man, look at all these enemies around me. Oh, look at that. I lost my multiplier. And then like 10 seconds later, you're already at 5 times multiplier for points. It's awesome. It feels good to have a higher multiplier score. Now, I haven't finished a full, like, set of the arcade yet. So this is gonna be my first time, hopefully, to just kind of go through here and hope for the best. Now, I probably should have been on beginner difficulty for that, but nope, we're on experience because I have slight experience with things. Now, I suck. I think it should be said. I suck at platformers and sticks or twin stick shooters. So I apologize in advance for my terrible abilities, but I will try my best. Now, I think, yeah, okay. It takes a little while for the HUD to update and say, okay, yeah, you actually killed all of the dudes that are around the area. You killed all the, or not all the dudes around there, you killed all the keepers. And like, oh, alright. So it's something we keep an eye out. Oh, these guys, they're fun. You have to kill the first guy, and then the second batch of guys, or then the other ones will activate and you can get your nice little scores. Now, I'm not sure if you can just kill the other ones. Usually I just boost through them all, because it's fun to do that, but who knows? But yeah, as you can see, my missiles, or all my weapons, just in general, they fly around and they fuck shit up, and it's nice. Especially if you're like going away and you don't want to get hit. It's like, oh man, look at me and my fucking. You see, look at that. It curved around to a direction I wasn't even aiming at to hit the enemy. So that allows you to keep the multiplier. I lost another batch of humans, or one human, without noticing. Son of a bitch. God damn it. That keeps happening. I talk too much. That's because I'm trying to do a commentary thing. That's alright. Let's just focus on playing the game now. I've explained everything. Okay, so we got our multiplier going on. Keepers! Ground keepers! I'm gonna fuck them all up! Oh yeah! That's so much fun. I would buy a Resogun 2. Hell, I'd buy a Resogun 1. I got it for free, but I think this thing's definitely a little bit worth some money. Maybe not the $15 that it is, but it's definitely a little bit on there. Uh-oh. We got the boss. What's this one? Oh, it's the wheel one. The one that spins around, and if you destroy the... Okay, so for this boss, it has weak points too, but when you destroy the weak points, it shifts the direction that it's spinning in, and also has those little balls. This one's a little bit irritating to fight, just because you're trying to... On the hard difficulties, it's like, oh man, look at the thousands of balls trying to hit me while I'm doing small amounts of damage. I don't know, my shield's expiring. Now, one thing you can do is actually keep yourself in between these. Uh-oh. Like this for a while, so you can do a lot of damage. And you don't have to worry about getting hit, because the range on the guns isn't all that big. Of course, obviously, it's really risky. The safest thing to do is just kind of chill out in the back, do some slight damage, but I'm pretty sure that eventually, at some point, we'll break one of these goddamn weak points. But once you break a weak point, one of these outside weak points, it actually changes the directions that it's spinning in. So if you thought you were going to be able to continue just kind of doing the same thing over and over, nope, it changes. Look at that, boom. And now it does that. Also, the weak point, oh shit. Yeah. The weak point shoots at you with a giant laser. And that's just never fun. I think it's actually trying to... I think it's trying to keep up with me. Oh, fuck, it is. That's not fun. Oh boy. Now the worst part is you can't go through the boss with your boost, so you get a little bit fucked on some of these parts. So I'm gonna go ahead and uh-oh. That's a really far range, holy shit. Woo! Oh, and during the boss fights in the beginning of phases, you don't lose your multiplier, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you die, obviously you'll lose it, and that kind of sucks. Nope. Okay, how many weak points are there? 1. So I have to get on the other side. Fuck its ass up. Oh no! Fuck. That sucks. I got hit because I was trying to get to the top part. Oh. I guess this is what I should do, right? To avoid getting blasted by those giant beams, I should just do this. Follow along it all the way, because it never really moves. It just kind of hovers in place. Oh, shit. Just keep following along. Eventually, at some point, we'll boost around like this to get to the weak point. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Getting screwed over because I was charging. Haha! And now that we destroyed the outside weak points, I don't remember what else it does. Oh, and now oh, no. I don't know this. I don't know the rest of this fight. What? Oh, shit! So now it's actually moving around. And I have no idea how to hit the weak points. Aha! Eventually it'll spin around towards me, so that way it can shoot these little missiles? Okay. I just have to do my goddamn best to avoid them. And now it's back to normal. Oh, come on, I need to shoot out your weak points, bro. Now, I could use my overdrive to kill it, because, yeah, it looks like those are, like, the final weak points that kind of lead to it dying. So I can do that. Next time it spins around, I'm gonna fuck it up. Pew, pew, pew. Here it goes. Overdrive! Oh, no. Well, that sucks. Bomb time! There you go. Bomb does a lot of damage. I thought I could just damage it on one side. Nope, it was a two-sider, so I should have finished it off on one side and then overdrive the other one. But I used the bomb, which is gonna cost me a few points, but you know what? I lost my multiplier, so it doesn't matter anymore. Right?